Hello everybody, this is Sharon at Art Shorts, and today we're going to learn how to do a very simple weaving on a cardboard loom. And remember that you can come back over this over and over again, and also there's other YouTube channels that teach a little bit about weaving on cardboard. So first, we're going to go to my overhead and show you my loom that I have here. It's just a plain simple cardboard loom, and you can use just regular cardboard if you want to cut it out. This one is from Amazon, and it has ridges on both sides. You don't have to use all of them. If you want to do like a bracelet or a necklace, you can do smaller versions of this. And I have warped this loom. When you do weaving, what you put on to weave on is called the warp, and what you put on as you're weaving is called the waft. And this is what we're doing, and it is called a rug mug, and it's very small, and it's easy to do. And I have needles. They're rather long with a big eye in them. And we can start with a small piece of yarn. Realize that you don't put on all the yarn for the whole thing at once. And we're going to put the yarn in the needle and bring it down, and then we're going to take the needle and start doing over and under. Over, the first one's under, over, under, over, under, over, all the way across, just like this. And we're going to pull it and leave just a little tail on the other end. Then we're going to turn it around and first off we're going to take that little end and we're going to weave it in there so it's going in the other direction. Like that. It's only going to go part way. And we're going to make sure that we don't pull our lines in to make Marilyn Monroe waists. We don't want Marilyn Monroe waists. We want it to be straight going all the way down. Now we're going to come back, and when we hit this, where the little tail is, it's going to be exactly the same way as this is weaving. And that way it'll hide itself in with that line of yarn. See how it's going to be exactly all the way across. And when I'm pulling across, you see I have my finger there so that the yarn doesn't pull tight. We don't want it to be tight. And when you put it across, you make like a shape of a moon right there. And then you just pull that down. So it's like it's squished together. We're going to squish this together all the way. And when we're weaving, we're going to weave as wide, as long as it is wide. So you measure it, and that's how wide and how long it's going to be. So it looks like a square when you're done. And your mug can sit on top of that. There's all kinds of ways that we weave. There's the history of weaving all the way back to when they figured out what to do to weave clothes instead of wearing leather, killing animals to put leather on their bodies. And see, I'm putting my finger down again so that it doesn't go very far, and then I'm making the shape of the top of the moon and then bringing it down. Now you want to keep, unless you're intending to weave double, you're going to have to make sure that your thread is not all the way down to double up down there where the warp is. And we are going to keep doing this all the way across. Hold the thread at the corner, make your moon, and bring it down. Now we can push this further that way if we want to, so it's closer to being in the center. We're going to keep going back and forth. I learned to weave from my grandma. She had a great big loom, and she made rag rugs. People would bring her their ragged clothes, and my grandpa would cut them apart and rip them into long pieces, and then my grandmother would sew them together, and we would make balls with them. And then she would weave them together to make rugs on this giant loom, and I would lay under the loom and watch her weave over my head. That was always fun for me to do. So, if you want to weave, make sure that it's exactly the right square that you're getting. Then you'd weave right up to there. And you do not have to, this is cardboard, so you can take a pencil and mark where you're wanting to weave to. And if you want to change the color of the loom, of the warp, you can. You see here I changed a little bit. I like to use just little pieces that I have saved. I don't necessarily, when I make mug rugs, I don't necessarily do them so they're perfect. Here we go. And I'm going to weave this now. I got those plastic needles at Amazon too. They're like 5-inch needles. And it makes it a lot easier to weave widths that are not real short. Now you make sure that you squish your yarn in so it makes it thick. As you can see, you cannot see the warp through that. You cannot see that beige brown color because the weaving has squished it all together. We're almost done here with this piece of thread. And we're going to come back again. Make sure that you hold on to that right there so that it doesn't squish it together. Make it look like it has Marilyn Monroe waistline. Don't forget that YouTube has a whole bunch of different videos of weaving on it, and a lot of beginner weavings. There's also some weaving, bead weaving on YouTube, which is kind of fun to do. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to use two different kinds or two different colors of thread to do this so that you can we're going to take this end and we're going to put it through. It's about halfway. Now, let me tell you that there's going to be little tails here, but they'll be in the back. Now, I have not taken any of these little tails off here. These are the tails that are on the back, and after it's all done and you have your tassels tied and everything, you can go on the back and kind of gently trim off all of those little tails so nobody can see them. That way your mug rug is going to look perfect on both sides. Now, do you see my little tail on that side? This time we're going to do some green so that you can understand you'll be able to see the difference in what we're doing. Now, you see where we stopped on that line. We're going to continue to do this line with my green. Now, there's several ways this can be done, but this is the way I do it. And there it is on that side. Do you see the green is doing that little tail on this side? When you're putting two pieces together, your tail is on one side from what you had already done, and your tail coming from your new yarn is on the other side. So both of the tails come together and meet. Then we're going to weave across. Make sure you hold on with your finger. And bring it down. And then we're just going to keep going until we're ready for another piece of yarn. And adding yarn to your piece is part of the weaving process. You're not going to take one whole skein of yarn and put it on here. It just won't work that way. Plus, I need to tell you that when you have a skein of yarn, the best way to do it is to pull the blob out of the center, and then you will have a yarn strand coming out, and it won't be, your yarn won't get messed up and be in blobs all the time. I have difficulty with that because I keep forgetting to do that. Now, let's see here, this one piece here, the end of the piece needs to come out, so we only have one piece here. And you just keep going like this all the way until you've got it where you will have a square. Um, then I wanted to show you on the other side where we cut it, or where we tied it together in the back. You're going to cut that all the way across right here. Then you're going to turn it over and you're going to trim so that you have maybe 2 inches of string on both sides of those. Then you're going to take your string and put 2 of them together and tie them into a knot. And that's going to be your tassels all the way across there. That's going to hold your warp together on both sides. And there you have it. There's your rug mug right there. So I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure that you show me pictures of your rug mugs when you get done with them. And I will talk to you later.